If your erections have become soft, inconsistent, or even non-existent, this may be the most important health message you hear all year, because it's not just aging that's to blame. The truth is the food you're eating every day could be slowly destroying your manhood. As a surgeon who works with the male anatomy every single day, I'm telling you what you put on your plate directly affects the strength, blood flow, and vitality of your penis. And if you're over 60, this connection becomes even more critical. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a men's health specialist and urologist with over 30 years of experience, helping older men regain control of their sexual health. Naturally, I've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't. And today I'm going to share something that most doctors won't tell you. Because here's the surprising truth. The very foods many seniors have been told to avoid for heart health, like red meat seeds and certain leafy greens, can actually restore blood flow to the penis-raised testosterone and help you feel stronger, firmer, and more like yourself again. So in the next few minutes, I'll reveal 3 specific foods backed by clinical science that can help make your erections rock hard, your confidence soar, and your energy return. And the third food, almost no one talks about it, but it may just be the key to the best sex you've had in years. Let's get started before we get into the powerful foods that can transform your erections and restore your confidence. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. That way, you'll never miss another vital health tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 so I know how to serve you better. So now that you understand the connection between what you eat and how you perform, let's start at the root of it all. Because before we talk about testosterone supplements or even desire, we need to talk about the one thing. No erection can happen without blood flow. And once you understand how it works, you'll see exactly why your performance has changed and, more importantly, how to get it back. Let's start there. Why blood flow is everything for your erections. Blood flow is everything for your erections. When I speak with men in their 60s and 70s who are struggling with weak erections or even total loss of function, the first thing I ask about isn't testosterone, stress, or medications. It's blood flow. Because here's the truth. Most men never hear. An erection is first and foremost a blood flow event. It's not just about desire or stimulation. It's about whether your arteries can deliver enough blood to the penis fast enough and in strong enough volume to sustain a firm erection. That process depends on healthy, flexible, unclogged blood vessels. Now here's the hard part. By the time many men reach their 60s, their arteries have been under silent attack for decades. Years of processed foods, sugar, inactivity, and stress all add up. Plaque begins to build inside the arteries, narrowing the space and reducing flow. At first, you might just notice a slight decrease in firmness. Then it becomes harder to stay hard, and eventually your body just can't get there at all. It's easy to blame age, but I can't tell you how many men I've seen turn things around simply by focusing on their vascular health. I remember a patient 67 years old, a retired teacher. He told me, "Doc, I thought my 6th life was over. I figured this is just what happens to older men. But after changing just a few habits, especially what he ate, he was able to get back what he thought he had lost forever. His erections came back stronger. His energy improved, and most importantly, his confidence returned. That's the power of healthy circulation. It gives you life, not just in your heart, but in your bedroom. So before we reach for pills or treatments, we have to fix the root problem. And the great news is you can support blood flow naturally using the right foods. In fact, the very first food I recommend for restoring healthy blood flow and supporting testosterone might surprise you because it's something you've probably been told to avoid for years. But when it's prepared the right way, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal for better erections. Let's talk about it. 2 food. 1 grass-fed, beef, the hormone restorer. For years, many of my older patients have come into my office with the same belief that red meat is bad for them. Doc, they'll say, I've cut back on beef like my doctor told me, but I still feel tired, sluggish, and disconnected in the bedroom. And every time I have to pause and gently explain that the problem may not be the beef itself, but the kind they were eating and what they were missing by giving it up. See, grass-fed beef, clean, unprocessed, and raised naturally, is one of the most powerful foods for men's hormone health, especially after 60. It's loaded with zinc, which your body needs to make testosterone, the hormone that fuels everything from energy and focus to libido and erection quality. It's rich in iron, which helps deliver oxygen and blood to the muscles and tissues that matter, and it provides the kind of high-quality protein your body actually uses to repair, build, and maintain strength. I had a patient in his early 70s who had completely cut red meat out of his diet. He thought he was doing the right thing for his heart, but what he didn't realize was that his energy had dipped. His testosterone had tanked, and his erections had gone from firm to barely there. When we reintroduced grass-fed beef into his diet, just twice a week alongside other adjustments, things changed. Within a month, his morning erections were back, his drive improved, and perhaps most importantly, he felt like himself again. Now, I'm not talking about greasy fast food burgers or heavily processed meats. I'm talking about real grass-fed beef, maybe topped with a slice of raw cheese. Another great source of vitamin K2, which helps keep your arteries flexible and clear. It's simple, satisfying, and powerful. But beef is just one part of the picture. To truly open up your blood vessels and supercharge circulation where it matters most, we need something fresh, green, and packed with natural nitric oxide. And most men walk right past it in the produce aisle without ever knowing what it can do. Let me show you. If you're still with me and these insights are resonating, drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and taking this seriously. Now let's keep going and dive into the second food that could help bring your energy and performance back. 3-food, 2-food arugula, the blood flow leaf. When it comes to leafy greens, most men think of spinach or kale. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful plants for restoring erections and improving blood flow is something you've probably walked past 100 times at the grocery store? It's called arugula, light peppery and often overlooked. This humble leaf is what I like to call nature's blood flow booster. It may not look like much, but inside, every bite is a secret weapon. Natural nitrates. Now don't confuse that with the artificial nitrates found in processed meats. The nitrates in arugula are plant-based and clean. When you eat arugula, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax and open your blood vessels, allowing more blood to flow through them. And as you now know, better blood flow means better erections. That's the core of it. No blood flow, no erection. It's as simple and serious as that. I remember one patient in his late 60s, a retired Navy veteran. He told me he hadn't had a morning erection in years, and he was starting to feel like that part of his life was just gone. We didn't start with prescriptions, we started with food. I asked him to add just 1 cup of arugula to his lunch every day. Nothing fancy, just fresh arugula with olive oil and lemon. After 2 weeks, he emailed me laughing. He said, "Doc, I think my wife might be more surprised than I am. Arugula is easy to add to your meals, but the effects go deep, relaxing your blood vessels, improving circulation and supporting your heart and bedroom at the same time. It works fast, it works naturally, and it works without side effects. But boosting blood flow is only half the equation. To fully support your erections, your body also needs the right minerals, especially as you age. And that's where one small food, often forgotten and rarely discussed, can make a major difference in how you feel and perform. Let's talk about it next. 4-food 3 pumpkin seeds, the Food 3 mineral powerhouse. Sometimes the most powerful things come in the smallest packages. That's exactly how I feel about pumpkin seeds. They're often tossed aside, forgotten after Halloween, or left in the back of the pantry. But for older men, especially those dealing with low energy, weak erections, or chronic fatigue, these little seeds can be a game-changer. Pumpkin seeds are what I call nature's mineral powerhouse. Inside each one is a perfect balance of nutrients that support not just your sexual health, but your overall vitality. They're especially rich in magnesium. One of the most common deficiencies I see in men over 60. Magnesium is essential for helping your blood vessels relax and expand, improving circulation exactly where you need it. It also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly kills libido and interferes with arousal. Add in zinc, which supports testosterone, and selenium, which helps protect your prostate, and you've got a food that works on every level of male performance. One patient of mine, a 72-year-old grandfather, came in feeling worn down and frustrated. He hadn't had a firm erection in over a year, and he said he just didn't feel like himself anymore. We looked at his blood work. His magnesium and zinc levels were both low. I had him start eating just a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds each day, raw and unsalted. He added them to his oatmeal in the morning, sometimes just grabbed a handful as a snack. 4 weeks later, he walked into my office with a grin I hadn't seen before. "Doc," he said, "I think I'm back." That's the power of minerals when they're delivered the right way through real food, not just pills. Pumpkin seeds are simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. And when combined with foods like grass-fed beef and arugula, they help create the ideal internal environment for stronger, more consistent erections. But there's still one missing piece to this puzzle. A nutrient that doesn't come from your plate, but from the sky. And if you're low in it, no amount of healthy eating may be enough. Let's take a closer look. If you're still watching and finding this information valuable, go ahead and comment. Number 1 below to let me know you're following along. Now let's keep going with point number 5. It's a simple but powerful nutrient that most men overlook, and it could be the key to unlocking everything we've talked about so far. 5 bonus tip, vitamin D. 3. Bonus tip, the erection hormone. Now there's one critical piece to this puzzle that most men never think about. It's not a food you eat. It's not something you'll find in your spice cabinet or on your dinner plate. It's a nutrient your body makes from the sun. And without it, even the best foods in the world can't fully do their job. I'm talking about vitamin D. 3. What I often call the erection hormone, vitamin D. 3 plays a vital role in the production of testosterone and the function of your blood vessels. It reduces inflammation, helps regulate blood pressure, and even boosts nitric oxide, the very molecule that allows your blood vessels to open and let blood flow freely to your penis. Yet despite how essential it is, many older men are dangerously low in vitamin D and have no idea. As we age, we spend more time indoors. Our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight, and before we know it, we're operating at half capacity without realizing it. One of my longtime patients, a 65-year-old widower, had been trying everything to improve his sexual function. He was eating better, walking daily, even using herbal supplements, but nothing seemed to work. When I checked his vitamin D levels, they were alarmingly low. We added a daily dose of 5,000 IU of vitamin D, D3, and within weeks he told me something had shifted. He felt clearer, more energetic, and his nighttime erections, something he thought were long gone, had returned. It was a reminder of just how powerful this nutrient can be. Now, I always recommend getting 15 to 20 minutes of sunlight per day if possible. But for many older men, especially during the colder months, a quality supplement is a simple, effective way to fill the gap. It's one of the easiest steps you can take to support not only your sexual health, but your immune system, your energy, and your overall vitality. So now you've heard about the foods and nutrients that can transform your erections from the inside out. But how do you put them all together into one simple, effective meal plan? Let me show you exactly what that looks like. 6 putting it all together. Putting it all together. Your erectile health meal. Now that you've learned about the core foods and nutrients that support strong, healthy erections, the question becomes, how do you bring them all together in a simple, sustainable way? I've worked with countless men over the years, and the ones who see the biggest changes aren't the ones who make drastic overnight transformations. They're the ones who build consistency around just a few powerful habits. And it all starts with one meal. Picture this, a plate with 6 to 8 ounces of grass-fed beef gently cooked. Not overdone, just enough to preserve those vital nutrients. Add a slice of raw cheese on top, which adds a boost of vitamin K2 to keep your arteries clean and flexible. On the side, build a fresh salad using arugula as your base. Drizzle on a little olive oil, squeeze in fresh lemon juice, and, if you like, add a pinch of garlic or a few chopped walnuts for extra heart-healthy support. And don't forget a small handful of pumpkin seeds, raw, unsalted, full of magnesium and zinc. This simple combination gives your body the protein, minerals, healthy fats, and plant-based nitrates it needs to restore blood flow and hormone balance naturally. I've had men tell me that after just a few weeks of eating this way, 2 or 3 times a week, they not only saw improvements in their erections, but felt more energized, more alert, and more alive in every part of their lives. It's not about dieting, it's about nourishment, feeding your body what it's been craving for years. And when you combine that meal with daily sunlight or a high-quality vitamin D, 3 supplement, you're giving yourself every advantage possible to perform, feel, and live like the man you want to be. But even with all this powerful knowledge, there's one last thing I want to leave you with. A mindset shift that can reignite your confidence and reshape how you approach aging, intimacy, and manhood itself. Let's talk about that in the final conclusion message. Conclusion, if there's one message I hope you take away from everything we've discussed, it's this. Your body is still capable of healing, of changing, and of performing, not just in life, but in the bedroom. I've spent over 3 decades working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. And I can tell you, age does not mean the end of your vitality. You simply have to give your body the right tools we've talked about, why blood flow is the foundation of every erection, and how poor circulation, not just low testosterone, is often the silent thief behind weak performance. You've learned how grass-fed beef can restore hormone levels and energy, how arugula boosts nitric oxide and opens up your arteries, and how pumpkin seeds quietly power your body with the minerals it's been missing for years. You've seen how something as simple as vitamin D3 from the sun or a supplement can reignite your system and bring life back to your drive. But more than that, I hope you've seen that these aren't just nutrients. They're building blocks, fuel for your confidence, your masculinity, and your connection with your partner. When you put these foods together in a simple, consistent way, you're not just eating for your health. You're reclaiming a part of yourself that maybe you thought was long gone. I've watched men go from frustrated and defeated to energized and alive again, just by making these small shifts. And if they can do it, so can you. So here's what I want you to remember. This is your second prime. Your golden years don't have to be dull, disconnected, or diminished. They can be powerful, passionate, purposeful. You've got wisdom, experience, and heart. Now you just need the circulation and strength to match. Stay committed, stay hopeful, and most of all, stay in the fight because the best chapters of your life may still be ahead. If this message spoke to you, if it gave you clarity, hope, or even just one useful idea, please take a moment to like this video so more men like you can find it. Share it with a friend, a brother, or someone you care about who might be struggling in silence. And if you have thoughts, experiences, or questions, drop them in the comments below. I read every single one. Your story could help someone else. If you'd like to support this channel and help me continue creating honest, helpful content for men over 60, consider making a small donation using the link in the description. Every bit goes toward reaching more men and changing more lives. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking charge of your health. And remember, it's never too late to reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your passion. I'm here with you every step of the way.